And time now for the business report. Live from Business Center and Chris McCusker. Irene, it's the biggest monthly job loss since the financial crisis. The Canadian economy lost 71,200 jobs in November, and our unemployment rate rose 0.4 of a percentage point to 5.9%. So that's the highest reading since August of 2018. The Canadian dollar pulling back from a 1-month high. It's down by about half a cent, 75.42 cents US. TSX right now higher by 153 to 17,008. It is looking at a losing week, but still up by almost 19% year to date. There is pressure today coming from the gold stocks. Gold is down $17, 14.66, and then oil higher by 60 cents, 59.02 a barrel. So that's close to a 3-month high. In the U.S., a better than expected jobs report there with a whopping 266,000 jobs created in November. So naturally, U.S. markets rallying on this data. All indices stateside up by at least 1% right now. The Dow is higher by 345, the S&P up by 32, and the Nasdaq higher by 89. Now, shares in Uber in the red. That stock is down 1.8% to $28.12 a share. A long-awaited safety report released in the U.S. shows more than 3,000 allegations of sexual assault involving drivers or passengers. The 84-page report also shows 58 road deaths out of 1.3 billion trips in 2018. And with shares in Uber down, the competition Lyft, that stock down a little to $45 a share. I'm Chris McCusker. This is 680 News.
Ryan, are you adding another log to the fire?
Yeah, there's nothing like the sweet scent of crackling wood.
Yeah, it's just getting really hot in here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm dying.
Well, then why don't we move to the basement? It's cooler in there.
Okay. Wow, you finished your basement.
Yeah, not bad, right?
Right. It's okay to be proud of your renos. Until Wednesday at Rona, don't miss the bathroom event. Enjoy 25% off bathroom furniture, faucets, toilets, bathtubs, and showers. Conditions apply. Be yourself proud with Rona. Giving someone a CAA gift membership for the holidays is kind of like saying,
Happy battery boost for when your car doesn't start.
wishing you peace, joy, and lots of restaurant savings.
Merry quick help with that flat tire.
Say happy holidays with a CAA gift membership and give peace of mind with 24/7 roadside assistance across North America, plus great savings on shopping, dining, and more. Buy a gift membership by January 5th and get a $10 gift card. Details at CAAgift.com. CAA, making bad days good and good days better.
Now, the 680 News Business Travelers forecast in Edmonton today, mostly cloudy and -7. Las Vegas, partly cloudy and 9 degrees. In Chicago, partly cloudy and 0 degrees. Orlando, clear skies and 18 degrees. 680 News is CFTR AM Toronto. 680 News time will be exactly 1:30.
Number one for news in Toronto. This is 680 News.
Here are Sarah Barrett and Steve Roberts. Good afternoon. It's Friday, December 6th. In for Steve Roberts, I'm Irene Franklin. Here's what's making news this hour.
With contract talks at a standstill, public high school teachers announced they'll be doing rotating one-day strikes beginning next Wednesday, including right here in Toronto.
The RCMP accused a 22-year-old man from Guelph of being involved with ISIS. He's now in custody on terrorism-related charges.
After an ugly morning commute, a fresh coat of snow is made for a beautiful day to get outside. Great news for Toronto students on a PA day.
Shocking footage showing just how important it is to clear the snow off the roof of your car. A driver's windshield shattered by flying ice. Pontus Hellberg takes Andreas Johnson's spot on the Matthews line at least practice. Kendrick stays in Washington sports at 45.
Investors snapping up stocks on Wall Street after a better-than-expected jobs report, while our loonie slips from a 1-month high on disappointing data in Canada. Business at 26. 680 News Time, 1:31. Time for traffic and weather together all at once. Here's Carrie Pruskus. This report is brought to you by Shell. You do not want to be on the westbound QEW right now through Burlington. Ongoing problems at Guelph line. 3 right lanes are blocked because of a collision. A truck has flipped on its side, and the westbound QEW is now jammed from just west of Bronte all the way to Guelph line. It's very tightly packed through that stretch, so pick an alternate. Anything else is going to be moving better. If you're traveling northbound on the Don Valley Parkway, just north of Eglinton, the 2 right lanes are blocked with a collision, the right lane and the ramp lane, so traffic is jammed on the northbound DVP from approaching Don Mills to north of Eglinton. Northbound on the 400, watch out north of the 401. Might still have some wood debris affecting the left lane. Heading westbound on the 401, that's busy as you pass the 412. Another delay from Bayview to Avenue Road Express and collectors. Then it's heavy from the 400 in the Express to Dixon. Also seeing a delay westbound 401 from the 410 in the collectors to Mavis. A couple of eastbound problems. Eastbound on the 403 at Ford Drive, the left lane is blocked with a stalled transport truck, so that's backing traffic up onto the QEW from just east of Trafalgar. Eastbound on the 401 on the ramp to Victoria Park, the right lane is blocked with a stalled vehicle. A slow go on the eastbound 401, delays from Winston Churchill to Huron, Ontario. Busy again through Dixie and the collectors, then delays from the 427 to the 400 Express and collectors. And watch out for that problem on the ramp to Victoria Park. Heading into the Durham region, it's slow eastbound 401 from the 412 to Brock Street. It's simple to get 50 Air Miles bonus miles. Just fuel up 4 times with any Shell fuel. Only until December 27th. Details at shell.ca/Air Miles with fuel. And now with the forecast, here's Denise Andriachi.
Partly cloudy at Pearson Airport. We're sitting at -1. We've been there pretty much all day. We've got a wind chill of -3, so the wind chill is improving slightly. Still the slight chance of some flurries passing through a little later through the early evening and even overnight as well as we fall lows near -10. Bitter wind chills tonight. It's going to feel like -14. Right now, downtown Toronto, just a few clouds and 0. Your guaranteed high +1.
680 news time, 1:33. The breaking news on the education front. Ontario's public high school teachers are ramping up their job action with more one-day walkouts on the way. And it's going to affect students and parents right here in Toronto next Wednesday, exactly 1 week after the first one-day strike. The news comes on the heels of the education minister announcing that their union has dug in their heels when it comes to the contentious contract talks. 680's Melvin Qureshi is at Queen's Park and joins us live with the very latest. Moment.
Yeah, Irene, if you're a parent of a high school kid who goes to a public high school, you need to listen up here because there will be a rotating one-day strike beginning next Wednesday. It'll affect several boards, including the TDSB, so right here in Toronto, as well as Barrie, Brantford, Belleville, Fort Francis, Lindsay, and North Bay. So it's worth noting that some other GTA boards left off the list, like York Region, Peel, Durham, Halton, those will not be affected at least for that one day. They also say that teachers of those boards will also do rotating picket lines as well. Now, the education minister, Stephen Lecce, just speaking to us almost simultaneously as that announcement was being made, and needless to say, he's not happy about it.
I'm saying that is unacceptable and incongruent with the priorities of any parent in this province. We stand with parents against escalation, and I seriously hope that the unions will consider private mediation to avoid this needless escalation.
The union also saying that members in the other schools will hold information picket lines in front of schools and MPP's offices and in other locations throughout the province. So once again, there will be another one-day strike. It will not affect all boards, but it will affect right here at the TDSB in Toronto. Reporting live at Queen's Park, I'm Melvin Qureshi.
680 news time, 1:35. A 22-year-old Guelph man is facing terrorism-related charges. It's alleged he was involved with ISIS. 680 Charlene Close is following this story and joins us live with more. Charlene.
Sarah Karamau and his wife, who are newlyweds, were held in custody in Turkey for 3 months before being released and returned to Canada in October. The Mounties arrested him this morning. Corporal Louis Savard tells me it's alleged he traveled to Turkey to connect with ISIS.
He's been charged with participation in activity of terrorist group, and as well as leaving Canada to participate in activity of terrorist group.
His arrest follows a national security investigation by the RCMP's Integrated National Security Enforcement Team. Savard says at no time was public safety compromised. Reporting live, Charlene Close, 680 News.
It's a PA day for students here in Toronto, and what a great day to be off from school. This latest round of snow is making for perfect conditions for some tobogganing fun. 680's Michelle Mackey is at Christie Pitt, seeking snow lovers, and joins us live with more. Michelle, getting any tobogganing in?
Well, listen, I just need to make friends with someone who will let me use their toboggan. That's the trick, Irene. And I know it was a nightmare drive this morning, but now it really has turned into a winter dream. A fresh coat of snow is made for a perfect tobogganing day for Toronto kids on PA Day. And just like Rose is senior kindergarten.
My sled.
Are you having fun?
Yes.
How come?
Because I'm going really fast.
I can confirm Rose, at just 5 years old, is on the big hill. My new friend, 10-year-old Georgia, is more like me. She's on the medium hill and has this advice for other kids on PA Day today.
Go outside, have some fun, and get some fresh air instead of staying inside, because it's not really good for you to just stay inside for the whole day.
Right on, Georgia. Leave it to kids to remind us adults that winter really can be fun. Live at Christie Pitts, I'm Michelle Mackey.
Well, meantime, the snowy conditions have prompted police to remind us of the importance of paying attention and just how important it is to fully clear your car before heading out onto the roads. This after a driver's windshield was shattered by ice flying off the roof of another vehicle. Here's 680 Stuart again.
Stunning dash cam footage. A driver making their way down the 403 earlier this week when suddenly a mix of snow and ice shards come flying off the vehicle in front. But the dust never clears and ends in a terrifying way.
A lot of it hit the ground in front of the vehicle, but a few of them kept fluttering in the air until one of them slammed right into the windshield in front of the dash cam, shattering the windshield of that driver.
LPP Sergeant Gary Schmidt saying they're still looking into the video that was posted online, but say the driver is assumed to be okay since no emergency calls were made. He says the scariest thing, the driver behind was giving himself more than enough room between him and the vehicle in front and still had no time to get out of the way. A very real reminder of how important it is to brush off your car. And important to note, failure to do so can also result in a fine. I'm Stuart again.
680 News Time 1:38. The political battles have officially begun in the new parliament, with the prime minister going toe-to-toe with opposition leaders in the first question period of this minority mandate. 680's Parliament Hill reporter Cormac McSweeney joins us with more.
Despite all the talk of collaboration, federal leaders are back-tossing political jabs, with Conservative leader Andrew Scheer opening the first question period by targeting the prime minister over the loss of 71,000 jobs last month.
The prime minister is going to spend the next few weeks and months trying to blame everything else except for his failure.
Economic strategy saying they're attracting investment, and on energy, he says the Conservatives failed to get pipelines built. What we are doing now is actually getting our resources to new markets with shovels in the ground. The opposition Tories also pushing for changes to the Liberal throne speech, proposing a list of issues they wish would have been in the plan, including balanced budgets, scrapping the carbon tax, and addressing national unity. Cormac McSweeney, Parliament Hill.
Coming up in 30 seconds, we will take a look at city streets and check the gas price. 680 News Time 1:39.
Cameron presents the spectacular new production of Andrew Lloyd Webber's The Phantom of the Opera. Critics are raving. It's bigger and better than ever before. See the phenomenal new production of the world's greatest love story, The Phantom of the Opera.
Returns January 8th through February 2nd to the Princess of Wales Theatre. Get tickets at mervish.com.
City streets right now, Bloor is reduced to one lane both ways between Bathurst and Spadina for road resurfacing. And the collision is reported in Markham, southbound Warden, approaching the 407.
City Streets was brought to you by CapitalDirect.ca, helping homeowners save money on interest.
Now the 680 News gas price update. Enpro predicts the price will stay the same at midnight. It's going to hold at $1.13.9 a liter. 680 News Time 1:40.
Introducing Festival in downtown Dallas. Live, laugh, and play in the new South VMC. Festival, it's a celebration. Amicus Quadrille Community. Register at festivalsouthvmc.com.
There's a reason you look people in the eyes when you shake their hand. A reason you don't like being late for meetings and hate missing deadlines. It's why you put your customers first and pick your partners wisely. Because you know, in business, reputation is everything. Trust your reputation to FedEx for all of your international shipping needs. Express, ground, and freight. Visit FedEx.ca/reason. FedEx, connecting people and possibilities.
680 News Time 1:41. Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Carrie Pruskus.
This report is brought to you by Mr. Lube. A major backup on the westbound QEW due to a problem at Guelph Line. The two right lanes and the ramp lane are blocked with a collision. A truck has flipped on its side here as well. And westbound on the QEW, that backup starts at Bronte and it is just crawling all the way through to Guelph Line. Keep in mind there's no access to the westbound QEW from northbound Guelph Line. That ramp has been closed because of this problem, but you can still get onto the westbound QEW from southbound Guelph Line. Eastbound on the 403 at Ford Drive, the left lane is blocked because of a stalled transport truck, and traffic is backed up onto the QEW from Trafalgar. Heading northbound on the Don Valley Parkway, just north of Eglinton, the right lane and the ramp lane are blocked with a crash, and it's now jammed on the northbound DVP from Bayview Bloor to north of Eglinton. I just spoke with the MTO. They're still on the way to pick up this wood debris on the northbound 400 north of the 401. It was reported in the left lane, a bit of a delay building there. Westbound on the 401, that's slow through Kennedy and the collectors, then busy from Leslie to Avenue Road, alternate the express and collectors. Another delay westbound 401 from the 400 express and collectors to Dixon, and it slows again from the 410 and the collectors to Mavis. And southbound on the 410, there's a delay south of Mayfield. Last we heard from traffic spotters, the right lane was still blocked because of a jackknife tractor trailer, so that's the reason for that backup. Eastbound on the 401, delays from Winston Churchill to here, Ontario, slows again across the city from the 427 to the 400 express and collectors. And on the eastbound 401 ramp to Victoria Park, the right lane is blocked with a collision. Not spotting any delay there, but busy into the Durham region from the 412 to Brock Street. Drive into any Mr. Lube location for same-day tire services. Open every day, no appointment needed. Mr. Lube now offers tire services for all makes and models.
Lube offers tire services. Park and fly off oil change.
-1 at Pearson, we're 0 downtown Toronto. Just a few clouds there. There's still a chance of some flurries through this late afternoon, evening, even overnight. We could see a bit of the squall activity we're expecting over in the snow belt to make its way to parts of the GTA. Right now, there's no advisories in effect, but if that changes, we'll let you know. Slight chance of flurries through the morning on Saturday. Highs tomorrow near -2, cloudy periods and -3 for Saturday night. Then a big warm up on Sunday, sun and cloud near 6 degrees for an afternoon high. Your guaranteed high today, +1.
680 News Time 143. Now the Scotia iTrade Market Minute, live from the Business Center. Here's Chris McCusker. Sarah, winning day still on both sides of the border. It's been somewhat stable. U.S. markets close to highs for the day. The Dow is up 342, the S&P up by 32, and the Nasdaq higher by 90 points, while the TSX is higher by 150, 17,005. Gold and material stocks now are weighing on Bay Street. Price for gold itself is down $18, $14.65. Helping to offset that, oil is higher by 64 cents, $59.07 a barrel. That's close to a 3-month high. And then the Canadian dollar down by about half a cent, 75.42 cents US, after a disappointing jobs report on this side of the border. At the Business Center, I'm Chris McCusker.
Direct invest with Scotia iTrade. Get up to $1,500 cash and $6.99 pricing, or up to 500 free equity trades. Details at scotiaitrade.com/winter20.
If you haven't taken the time to visit Lando Lighting recently and you're looking to freshen up your home, then wait no longer. New lighting can make all the difference in your home. Designers know it's the key ingredient to making a room stand apart from the rest. So isn't it time you visit the lighting specialists at Lando Lighting? With a massive selection of lighting and the best prices, there's no reason to go anywhere else. And right now, enjoy savings of up to 60%. Everything looks better with Lando Lighting. 210 Clarence Street, Brampton.
Here's 4 holiday carolers working in unison to demonstrate Subaru's symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Nice. Now here's what that sounds like if it wasn't full-time. Again, full-time all-wheel drive. Not full-time all-wheel drive. And in the Canadian winter, that doesn't sound right. Visit your Subaru dealer for a $500 holiday bonus at the My Subaru Gave To Me holiday event.
This is All News Radio, 680 News.
A mostly sunny sky now in downtown Toronto. It's 0, feeling like -4. Good afternoon from the 680 News Broadcast Center. I'm Sarah Paris. And I'm Irene Precliffe. Here are the top stories this hour. Public high school teachers in Toronto and 8 other school boards are planning to stage another one-day walkout next Wednesday, December the 11th. Their union, the Ontario Secondary School Teachers Federation, announced this latest job action amid continued stalled contract negotiations. The RCMP says a 22-year-old man from Guelph who once stood trial on terrorism-related charges in Turkey is now facing 2 similar counts here at home. Ikar Mao was previously arrested overseas on charges related to alleged affiliation with ISIS. Police say he was not convicted on those charges and returned to Canada in October. Time now for 680 Sports from Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Here's Andrew Nye.
How do you not get convicted?
Johnson will miss at least the next 8 games of the leg injury suffered blocking a shot of Wednesday night. The Leafs replaced him on LTIR. Nick Patan, Martin Marincin, and Pontus Aberg all recalled from the Marlies today. Aberg skated with Matthews and Nylander at practice and made a good first impression.
Saw him a little bit in training camp, played with him on the same team, so you kind of get a sense he's pretty shifty. I think him and Will have a good relationship, so hopefully we can mesh well and create some offense.
Matthews and company will soon head to St. Louis. Nikita Zaitsev's agent Dan Milstein has released a statement that in part says the story that is being circulated online by the ex-wife of my client, Nikita Zaitsev, is not accurate. Nikita's children are safe at his parents' home in Moscow, and Nikita's ex-wife knows they are safe. Law enforcement considers this to be a private matter. The Senator's defenseman has been accused by his ex-wife of forcibly taking the couple's children last month while in Russia. Washington Nationals have brought back Howie Kendrick on a 1-year deal for $6.25 million. Patrick Reed leads the Hero World Challenge by 1 shot at 12 under. Tiger is 1 under today through 8 and 5 shots back. Mississauga Steelheads will host the Hamilton Bulldogs tonight at 7, while on Sportsnet at 7:30, Owen Sound visits London. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime on the home of Tim and Sid, now on TV and radio. Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Rising 47 stories above church in Adelaide comes a building that can only be described as remarkable. Introducing The Saint from Minto Communities. The Saint takes its place alongside Toronto's most iconic buildings. Find your center. Register at thesaintcondos.com. Minto Communities.
You text it, DM it, say it 5 times a week. Let's grab a drink soon, ? It should be more like, let's grab a drink soon, ! Because not everyone who says it, does it. If you miss your crew, why wait for them to make plans? Hit someone up you said it to 3 weeks ago. You'll laugh, catch up, remember the good times. So will they. When's the last time you made a drink soon happen? JP Weisers. Hold it high. Please enjoy responsibly.
680 News Time 149. Reports say one issue is holding up the finalization of the new NAFTA or USMCA. And as 680 business editor Chris McCusker tells us, it's got nothing to do with Canada. Bloomberg says the rules governing the use of steel and aluminum in cars have emerged as the latest obstacle to completing a revised NAFTA deal in time for U.S. congressional approval by the end of the year. The 3 nations, Canada, the U.S., and Mexico, are discussing the fine print of the agreement, which requires 70% of steel and aluminum to come from the continent in order to receive duty-free treatment. Now, at issue is the cars produced in Mexico, whose slabs often originate in Brazil, Japan, and Germany. But keep in mind, if the USMCA is not passed by the U.S. Congress, then NAFTA remains in place. At the Business Center, I'm Chris McCusker. Coming up in 60 seconds, we'll check in with traffic and weather. 680 News Time 150.
All right, Herbie, what's wrong? I don't want to make toys. What? I was thinking of becoming a dentist. Then I realized I want to make something that will keep children happy for years to come. I want to make musical instruments for Long and McQuaid.
Come into any Long and McQuaid musical instruments this holiday season and let our elves help you with some expert advice. Purchase, rent, or rent-own at unbeatable rates.
Anything else would be abominable.
Hi,
I'm Adam, founder of newborrow.com, and I started our company after I got fed up with the mortgage loan process. Turns out I wasn't alone. Thousands of homeowners wanted help.
They went above and beyond to help me get a line of credit. It was amazing service.
They treated me like a valued client and outperformed anyone I spoke to. Want to lower your mortgage payments and save a little money?
Use your home to get a loan with Newborrow. Visit newborrow.com. License 13115.
680 News Time, 151. Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Carrie Prunskis. This report is brought to you by Seneca. Make that 2 problems now on the westbound QEW. We have a new issue at Burloak. The right lane is blocked with a collision, and this ongoing problem, it's a big one at Guelph Line. The 2 right lanes and the ramp lane are blocked with a collision. A truck is flipped over. And the westbound QEW, that backup starts now at 3rd line. It is completely jammed all the way through to Guelph Line. So use the North Service Road instead, and then rejoin the westbound QEW at Guelph Line from the southbound lanes, because the northbound Guelph Line ramp to the westbound QEW, that's closed because of that problem. Eastbound on the 403 at Ford Drive, the left lane is blocked with a stalled transport truck. There's a backup from Trafalgar on the QEW. And looking for an update from traffic spotters coming down the southbound 410, approaching Sandalwood. I'm not sure if this is a new problem. We had an earlier issue southbound 410 south of Mayfield, the right lane blocked with a jackknife tractor trailer, but it's really jammed southbound 410 from south of Mayfield to approaching Sandalwood. So any updates appreciated at star 680. I can see the phones lighting up already. Northbound on the Don Valley Parkway, just north of Eglinton, the right lane and the ramp lane are blocked with a crash. Northbound DVP is barely moving from Baby Bloor to north of Eglinton. And if you're traveling on the eastbound 401 on the ramp to Victoria Park, the right lane is blocked with a collision. Delays eastbound 401 from Winston Churchill to Huron, Ontario, and from the 427 to the 400 express and collectors. Beyond the 400, though, it's not doing too badly. If you're heading westbound on the Gardner, that's jammed from the DVP to west of Jameson. New year, new goals. Start at Seneca this January. Explore full-time and part-time programs and courses. It's not too late to apply. Visit senecacollege.ca. And now with the forecast, here's Denise Andriachi.
Well, quieter conditions over the next few hours, with the possibility of seeing some more snowfall moving in, especially through the west end of the GTA. It's going to be very brief if we do see that in the next few hours. And if that changes to more widespread, more steady, we'll let you know. Although there's a slight chance of some squalls tonight. Right now, the watches are only around parts of the Snowbelt region. Barrie, Aurelia, Midland under snow squall watches right now. The GTA, it's pretty quiet after an active morning. We're sitting at 0 downtown. Overnight, it's going to fall to -10 with a wind chill of -14. -2 for Saturday, slight chance of flurries through the day. Sunday, very mild for this time of year. Sun and cloud near 6 degrees. Chance of rain steady and through the day on Monday, as well as we see highs near 7. Your guaranteed high today, +1.
680 News Time, 154.
This extended forecast is brought to you by AEG Cooking. It's time to up your game. Spice up your kitchen and save 15% on all AEG cooking appliances, dishwashers, and steam ovens until December 31st. Visit ELA.ca.
Right now at Rogers, you can unwrap more. Like buy one, get one when you activate 2 lines with the Samsung Galaxy S10 and S10e on select 2-year plans. That means more for you and them with our greatest BOGO yet. More perfect holiday photos with Samsung's Pro-Grade multi-camera. And infinite data you can share when you get them both on a Rogers Infinite plan. Get twice the nice with Samsung BOGO during the Wrapped in Red event. On now at Rogers.
This holiday season, everyone has what it takes to be a holiday hero.
Join 680 News in supporting more than 4,000 local families with the York Regional Police Holiday Heroes Toy Drive.
Donate toys, food, or gift cards at any York Regional Police facility to support families and children of victim services and the Salvation Army within our community.
York Regional Police, 680 News, and families in need, thank you for your support.
For details or to donate monetarily, visit 680news.com/holiday heroes.
Thank you. Coming up in 60 seconds, shares in Apple hit an all-time high. 680 News Time, 155.
I'm Scott McGilvery. When it comes to real estate, I only recommend top agents. In Toronto, that's Frank Leo and Associates at RE/MAX West. Frank has a multi-million-dollar marketing system that will get your home sold, guaranteed. Go to getleo.com and start packing.
Everyone is talking about the hit musical sensation Come From Away. It's a true story. Thousands of people stranded in a small town in Newfoundland on 9/11, and the locals, they opened up their homes. What happened that week? The kindness, the resilience, the joy reminds us all what it is to be human. Come From Away, the perfect gift for the holidays. Get tickets at Mervish.com.
Want to sell your home without drama? Call Frank Leo and Associates at RE/MAX West. I'm Scott McGilvery, and I trust Frank's world-class multi-million-dollar marketing system to create incredible demand to get your home sold. Go to getleo.com today.
680 News Time, 1:56. Now the 680 News Business Report. Here's Chris McCusker.
Sarah, the Canadian dollar is one of this year's top performing currencies, but that could change depending on where we go from here. So right now our loonie off by about half a cent, 75.43 cents US, pulling back from a 1-month high after the latest jobs data showed our economy lost 71,200 jobs in November. That was much worse than was expected. Many economists were expecting a gain of about 10,000. Royce Mendez is director and senior economist at CIBC World Markets.
Well, this is a big reversal of fortunes for Canada's employment market. What we saw was a massive drop in employment in November. It was actually the largest single monthly drop since the financial crisis. What that means for the economy is a little bit uncertain, since this is a very volatile series, but certainly it will add some doubt as to whether the Bank of Canada can continue with its on-hold messaging.
The TSX right now higher by 146, 17,001. Gold is down $18, $14.64, and then oil higher by 60 cents, $59.03, so that's close to a 3-month high. In the U.S., better than expected jobs data as markets there surging. The Dow is up by 334, 28,012. The S&P up by 32, the NASDAQ higher by 87. All U.S. indices up by at least 1%. Now shares in Tesla up by 2%, 337.25. The electric car maker expecting to release the most and least expensive versions of the Cybertruck a year earlier than expected. And then shares in Apple today hit a record $271 a share. Now, the stock got an upgrade yesterday that an analyst today predicted the iPhone maker could release 5 new iPhones in 2020. Don't look now, but shares in Apple higher by 71% year to date. I'm Chris McCusker. This is 680 News.
It'll be here before you know it. Be prepared and place your holiday catering order today with Palma Pasta. Treat your guests to a delicious traditional Italian meal, sure to please the whole family or office party. Palma Pasta does the work, so you can spend more time with the people that matter. Call one of their 4 GTA locations today or visit palmapasta.com. Palma Pasta, Italian tradition.
I'm saying so. Am I dying? Yeah,
basically. There are as many as 2,000
This
homeless
chapter
youth in
of
our
this
city
channel
each
is me
night. Would you care?
documenting the
What
last
if I
little
told
bit
you
of my
most
life.
of them have suffered from abuse and neglect? Then would you care?
What if I told you many feel safer on the streets than they do at home? Now do you care? What if I told you I really need your help?
How young do they need to be before you care? Donate $8 a month to Covenant House Toronto and provide homeless kids with a warm bed, hot meal, and a better future. Visit covenanthousetoronto.ca
I have no idea who's
Now,
watching.
680
What's the
News
background
regional
noise?
weather
It's the
conditions
news,
for
bro. You never
Marquee
listen to the
Jewelers.
news?
It's the perfect time for that special
Like, I
purchase
couldn't
at
make up
Marquee
the
Jewelers.
stories these people
Great sales
broadcast in
continue
my
on
city,
engagement
bro.
rings and wedding bands. Visit 2 Bloor Street West inside Cumberland Terrace
If I
now.
wasn't so fucking sick, I might just say something
cloudy and
creative and
-1 in
freestyle
St.
rap and
Catharines,
shit,
some light
but I
snow,
am so
0.
fucking...
Downtown Toronto, mostly sunny now. It's 0. Feeling like -4. The News Watch never stops. 680 News is
Never
CFTR
stops.
AM Toronto. It's 2 o'clock.
I can do this 24/7 because you never stop.
Breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680
Oh, what was I
News,
just doing?
Toronto.
Here are Steve Roberts and Sarah Parrott.
Good afternoon. This is Friday, December the 6th. For Steve Roberts, I'm Irene Franklin.
Good afternoon. Here's what's making news this hour.
Another round of one-day strikes by public Ontario high school teachers are coming next Wednesday.
Why
The
am I live
TDFC is one of
streaming?
the
I
boards
just
that will
told
be
you.
affected.
The Mounties arrested
I'm
22-year-old
documenting
man
what's
from
left of my
Guelph
life
on
so the people
terrorism
that have the
charges.
fucking
But they say
diseases I
Canadians
have
were not in
won't
any danger.
feel so
12 to 10
alone.
centimeters of snow
That's
made
it,
for
bro.
a nightmare morning commute. But now,
Having a great time. This is
I don't know
awesome.
what that
Perfect,
says, bro.
Canadian weather.
families are out having some winter fun.
A feisty first day of regular business in this new minority House of Commons. The Prime Minister and opposition clash over the throne speech, the economy, and pharmacare.
Maple Leafs have lost Andreas Janssen for most of the month with a possible broken ankle. Toronto in St. Louis tomorrow. Sports at 15.
Big gains on Wall Street after a big jobs report. The TSX going along for the ride, even as Canada saw a big job decline. Business at 26.
680 News Time, 2:01. Time for 680 News. Traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Carrie Preskus.
This report is brought to you by Aero Furniture. It's still double trouble on the westbound QEW. At Burloak, the right lane is blocked with a collision. Then at Guelph Line, we have this ongoing issue. The two right lanes and the ramp lane blocked. A collision and a truck had flipped over. They're just moving the cameras right now. Can't quite tell if they've righted that truck yet, but right now the westbound QEW, it is packed from
If there's
third line to
background
Guelph
noise, you
Line.
can hear me,
Definitely
bro.
plan an alternate route. And keep in mind the northbound Guelph Line ramp to the westbound QEW, that's closed all due to this problem. Eastbound on the 403 at Ford Drive, the left lane
I
is blocked
barely
with a stone
tolerate typing
transport
on
truck.
this.
It's backed up from Trafalgar on the QEW. No change in this problem on the northbound DVP north of Eglinton. It's still the right lane and the ramp lane that are blocked. It's been here for over an hour, and the northbound DVP is heavy from Baby Bloor to north of Eglinton. Looks like they had to put some Absorball down, so that's part of the reason it's taking so long to clear. Westbound on the 401, traffic spotters telling me about a new problem approaching Mavis. The central lane is blocked with a collision. Looks like we may have a secondary issue approaching Mississauga Road as well. It's a slow go across the city. Westbound 401 delays from the 404 to Avenue Road Express and Collectors. Busy again from the 400 Express and Collectors to Dixon. And now it's really jammed approaching here Ontario and the Collectors to approaching Mississauga Road. Southbound on the 410, that's backed up from south of Mayfield to approaching Sandalwood because of a collision. The Aero Furniture Black Friday sale has been held over till Sunday. Save up to 50% on anniversary specials and don't pay the tax on anything else, or don't pay until 2021. Visit aerofurniture.com.
All
And
your
now with the
messages just
forecast,
got
here's Denise
retracted.
Andriachi.
Okay, bro.
Snow squall watches through some of the snowbelt region. The rest of the southern Ontario for the GTA were pretty quiet after a very active morning. We still have this chance of some passing flurries, but we're partly cloudy at the moment. -1 at Pearson feels like -3. Some of those squalls could reach the GTA tonight as we follow lows near -10, wind chill of -14. A very cold start to the weekend. Your guaranteed high today, +1.
680 News Time, 2:03. And we have breaking news. The union representing Ontario's public high school teachers says it will hold another one-day strike. The Ontario Secondary School Teachers Federation says next week's job action will impact only schools in Toronto and several other regions. We are also hearing from the Education Minister today. 680's Moen Qureshi is at Queen's Park. He joins us live with the very latest. Moen.
Sarah, the president of the Ontario Secondary School Teachers Federation, Harvey Bischoff, making the announcement within the last hour.
Wednesday, support staff and teachers working in particular school districts, which you should now be aware of through our media release, will be on a full withdrawal, while the rest of my school board employed members in those other school boards will be conducting information pickets. So they will be working as usual, but outside of school hours will be distributing information to the public so they can understand the destructive course that this government is going down.
So next Wednesday, there will be a one-day strike. It will not be at all boards. It'll only be at a few boards, but the Toronto District School Board right here is affected. So public high school students next Wednesday, if this does happen, will not have any school. It does affect other boards, but most of them are not in the GTA. We're talking about Barrie, Brantford, Belleville, Fort Francis, Lindsay, and North Bay. So it's worth noting that some of the other boards in and around the GTA, like Halton, Peel, Durham, York, are not affected by this one-day strike. For his part, Education Minister Stephen Lecce doesn't like it.
I'm saying that is unacceptable and incongruent with the priorities of any parent in this province. We stand with Parents Against Escalation, and I seriously hope that the unions will consider private mediation to avoid this needless escalation.
Now, all this comes as contract talks have completely stalled between the two sides. They have not been at the table for some time and currently have no plans to get back to the table. Reporting live, I'm Omen Qureshi.
680 News Time, 2:05. A young man from Guelph is facing terrorism charges. 680 Charlene Close joins us with the latest. 22-year-old Akara Mao is charged with participating in a terrorist group and leaving Canada to do so. Corporal Luis Savard with the RCMP tells me he showed up on the Mounties' radar after he and his wife were detained in Turkey over the summer while the newlyweds were traveling the Mediterranean.
He was arrested by Turkish authorities and charged for being part of a terrorist group, in particular ISIS. And he was held in custody until the matter was heard before the Turkish courts, and no conviction was registered.
The Turkish court was told Mao's phone had received ISIS videos on the encrypted messaging app Telegram. It returned to Canada in October and has been living under strict conditions related to what court documents describe as fear of terrorism offense. The details, though, are protected under a publication ban. I'm Charlene Close, 680 News Time, 2:06. While many adults were saying bah humbug to the snow today, the winter wonderland has turned into the perfect playground. 680's Michelle Mackey is at Christie Pitts, finding those frolicking in the flakes, and she joins us live with the latest. Michelle.
Sarah, the sun is shining, it's not too cold, and the 5 to 10 centimeters of snow that fell this morning has made for perfect tobogganing conditions. Just ask Martina and her kids.
We will be sledding the whole day, whole afternoon.
Now, some of the hills here at Christie Pitts are pretty steep, so if you're not a daredevil, I'm certainly not, do what university student Kyle is doing. Just take a stroll.
I guess it's kind of relaxing for me. Exams are really coming very soon, and it's a bit stressful.
Now,
Typing more messages and erasing more messages. What the
right
fuck?
now, spirits are high, and if you want to get outside to enjoy this snow, make sure you do so before Sunday. A big melt is in store. And finally, if anyone listening is coming to Christie Pitts, I'm looking to borrow a toboggan.
I wonder if he meant the static on the AM radio. I wonder if you never heard of AM radio before. It's just like
back tossing around
first time you hear
political
AM on the
attacks
internet.
during their first regular day of proceedings in the House of Commons since the fall election. The throne speech, jobs, pharmacare, all taking a spotlight today. 680's Parliament Hill reporter Cormac McSweeney joins us with more.
Regular business in the House kicked off with the debate on the throne speech and Conservatives pushing for an amendment to add a list of issues they feel should have been in it, like balanced budgets and scrapping the carbon tax. Leader Andrew Scheer claims the speech shows the Prime Minister learned nothing from the outcome of the election.
Just because the
fucking won. What the fuck's he gonna learn?
does not mean he gets to act like he got a promotion right there.
Later in question period, Scheer targets the Prime Minister over the latest job numbers, and Justin Trudeau defends his economic strategy, bringing in investment to create good jobs for Canadians right across the country. Meanwhile, the Bloc and NDP criticize the government's positions on health transfers and pharmacare. So despite the talk of cooperation in this minority, leaders didn't wait long to sling some political mud. Cormac McSweeney, Parliament Hill.
Coming up, we'll check in on city streets and find out the price at the pumps. 680 News Time, 2:09.
It's here. Our instant savings event is on now, helping you save on travel. Book a WestJet vacation package through redtag.ca and instantly save. Plus, get 250 air miles bonus miles with your trip. Book your vacation now and pay for it monthly with redtag.ca's new easy-to-use payment option. Don't wait. Plan your perfect trip today. Certain restrictions apply. redtag.ca.
15 city streets in Burlington. Westbound Harvester is jammed from approaching Walker's Line to Cumberland because of a collision. And southbound Spadina approaching College, their lanes blocked for sewer replacement. City Streets was brought to you by the Spa at the Old Mill. A scrumptious supper, a serene spa treatment, and a splendid stay. Give a gift card to the Spa at the Old Mill and book a tranquil getaway. Visit oldmilltoronto.com. Now the 680 News gas price update. Enpro predicts the price will stay the same at midnight, holding steady at $1.13.9 a liter at most GTA stations. 680 News Time, 2:10.
Need more dough for your bakery? ThinkingCapital.ca/radio. Want to give your beauty salon a makeover?
ThinkingCapital.ca/radio.
Does your auto shop need a boost? ThinkingCapital.ca/radio. Whatever small business you run, they can help. Apply for a small business loan today at ThinkingCapital.ca/radio. You could receive up to $300,000 in as little as 24 hours.
ThinkingCapital.ca/radio.
It's just that easy.
In winter, Canadians have a saying. Only a hoser brings a toque to a poutine kerfuffle. My toque! Oh, sorry. Not everything we say in Canada makes sense. Luckily at Ford Service, we have a saying that does. The Works Service Package is everything you need to get winter ready. More than an oil and filter change, it includes a vehicle report card, 83-point inspection, and tire rotation. Right on! Book your appointment for the Works for only $89.99. See participating Ford stores for details.
680 News Time, 2:11. Time for 680 News, traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Gary Prenskus. This report is brought to you by Shoppers Drug Mart. It's an absolutely terrible drive on the westbound QEW into Burlington.
They wanted
We have this
$40
problem
for
at
a
the
fucking
Wells
little
line. The
bottle
two
of
right lanes
lotion.
and the ramp lane are blocked because of a collision. There was a
I did
truck
not
rollover
buy
as
it.
well. I can't see that truck anymore, so I don't know if it's been righted and cleared. It's just the position that MTO has put the camera in. Don't know if it's still on its side, but I can tell you that backup is just awful. Westbound QEW jammed from 3rd line all the way to Guelph line. If you're thinking about westbound Harvester as an alternate route, it was just mentioned in city streets. There is a collision westbound on Harvester approaching Cumberland. And with that added volume, as everybody's avoiding the westbound QEW, it's extra slow on that route. So stay away from that as an alternate. Last check, North Service Road was good. If you're traveling the northbound Don Valley Parkway, just north of Eglinton, the right lane and the ramp lane are blocked with this crash. It's been here for well over an hour. And the northbound DVP, as a result, it's jammed from Baby Bloor to north of Eglinton. Westbound on the 401, traffic spotters updating me about a problem approaching Mississauga Road. The center lane is blocked with a crash. We also had a collision reported approaching Mavis in the center lane, so not sure if there was some mix-up with the traffic spotters, but westbound 410, I can tell you as well, it's jammed from the westbound 401 is jammed from the 410 Express and Collectors to approaching Mississauga Road. The center lane is blocked there. Southbound on the 410, last check we had a problem approaching Sandalwood blocking a lane, so southbound 410 is slow from just south of Mayfield down towards Sandalwood. Eastbound on the 401, that problem on the ramp to Victoria Park is cleared. Delays eastbound 401 from Winston Churchill to Huron, Ontario, and from the 427 to the 400 Express and Collectors. Eastbound on the 403, problems at Ford Drive, they're long gone now. Get the PC Optimum app today and get a 20 times the points offer to use at Shoppers Drug Mart now until Sunday. Restrictions apply. See digital coupon for details. And now with the forecast, here's Denise Andriachi.
We've got just a few pockets of snow showing up on the radar for a little later this evening, just after the drive home. In terms of timing, as it inches closer to the GTA, we'll let you know. It could dissipate by the time it makes its way. So right now it's fairly quiet out there. It's just a few clouds in the downtown core. Feels like -4, but we do have that chance of some flurries moving in this evening and also overnight as well, as we follow lows near -10. Saturday, fairly quiet. It's a cold start. It's going to feel really cold in the morning, and highs only near -2 through the afternoon. Cloudy periods and -3 for Saturday night. 0 now at Pearson Airport. Your guaranteed high +1.
680 News Time, 2:13. Now the Scotia iTrade Market Minute live from the Business Center and Chris McCusker. Well, Irene, we've got a winning Friday on both sides of the border. All U.S. indices up by at least 1% right now. The Dow leading the way. It's up 1.1% or 324. The S&P up by 31. The NASDAQ higher by 86, and the TSX higher by 143, 16,998. A little off the high for the day. It was sitting above 17,000 again. Though gold right now is down $18, 14.64. Oil is higher by 73 cents, 59.16 a barrel. And the Canadian dollar off by about half a cent, 75.41 cents US. Disappointing jobs data in Canada for November. At the Business Center, I'm Chris McCusker.
Direct invest with Scotia iTrade. Get up to $1,500 cash and $6.99 pricing, or up to 500 free equity trades. Details at scotiaitrade.com/winter20.
Cold symptoms coming at you? Take Dayquil Complete and put your cold symptoms out cold!
Dayquil Complete. The coughing, aching, congested chest, stuffy head, power through your day. Medicine. To ensure this product is right for you, always read and follow the label. Keep out of reach of children.
One rose from the streets of Paris to become an international star. The other was a German aristocrat who became Hollywood's first glamour queen. Their private lives were as theatrical as their public performances. This new musical biography stars Louise Piech as Edith Piaf and Jane Lewis as Marlene Dietrich. Piaf Dietrich, now playing at the CAA Theater until January 5th. Tickets at Mirvish.com.
Cold symptoms coming at you? Take Dayquil Complete and put your cold symptoms out cold.
Dayquil Complete, the coughing, aching, congested chest, stuffy head, power through your day medicine. To ensure this product is right for you, always read and follow the label. Keep out of reach of children.
This is All News Radio, 680 News.
It's mostly cloudy and +1. Good afternoon from the 680 News Broadcast Center in downtown Toronto. I'm Irene Bartlett. And I'm Sarah Parrots. Here are the top stories this hour. The union representing Ontario's public high school teachers says it will hold another one-day strike on December 11th. The Ontario Secondary School Teachers Federation says the job action labor will impact only schools in Toronto and several other regions. The RCMP says a 22-year-old man from Guelph who once stood trial on terrorism-related charges in Turkey is now facing 2 similar counts here at home. And it's a
So how come it took 2 months to fucking arrest him?
The snow is ready for tricky driving. It's just what many kids have been
Why did someone get arrested in 10 minutes?
Advantage and heading for the tobogganing hills. Coming up after sports, Metrolinx is out with a warning after word of a new trick by some fraudsters.
You involved buying a fucking Presto pass off somebody.
Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Here's Alex Sixero.
All right, Irene,
Yeah, but I wanna
Andreas
hear
Janssen
this
will be out
scam
until
story.
at least New Year's Eve. A CT scan revealing a significant leg injury after he blocked a shot on Wednesday. So that means the Maple Leafs can get back to a 23-man roster. Nick Patan, Pontus Aberg, and Martin Marincin have been recalled. Aberg was skating with Matthews and Nylander today. Leafs kick off their road trip tomorrow in St. Louis. As for tonight, the NHL leading Capitals are in Anaheim, and Sportsnet will have that face-off at 10. Shai Navidi reporting that Jose Ministral is going to be the new Blue Jays head athletic trainer. He'll be promoted and will take over for Nicky Huffman, who left the team not too long ago. Winter meetings begin on Monday. Reliever Brad Brock has re-signed with the New York Mets. It's a one-year deal with a 2021 club option, and Howie Kendrick is staying put with the Nationals, 1 year, $6.25 million. CHL tonight on Sportsnet. It's Owen Sound and London face off at 7:30. Mississauga Steelheads are home tonight. They'll take on the Hamilton Bulldogs at 7 o'clock. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour, or anytime on the home of Tim and Sid, now on TV and radio. Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
Being an entrepreneur means always having ideas to grow my business. And when I turned to BDC to bring my ideas to life, they came up with solutions I hadn't even thought of.
At BDC, being the only bank exclusively devoted to entrepreneurs means investing ourselves 100% in our clients' projects. So when you turn to us to help grow your business, it's our turn to come up with ideas.
Go further with BDC. BDC. Financing. Advising. Smarts.
There's a reason you look people in the eyes when you shake their hand. A reason you don't like being late for meetings and hate missing deadlines. It's why you put your customers first and pick your partners wisely. Because you know, in business, reputation is everything. Trust your reputation to FedEx for all of your international shipping needs. Express, ground, and freight. Visit FedEx.ca/reason. FedEx, connecting people and possibilities.
680 News Time, 2:19. Metrolinx is out with a warning after word
Tell us.
fraudsters are trying to imitate several of the company's websites. 680 Store Begin has the details.
Whether you're loading your Presto card or purchasing Go or Up Express tickets, it's something Anne-Marie Aitken says you need to watch out for.
Lately, we have noticed some fake websites that are pretty close to our domain.
The spokeswoman for Metrolinx telling me those fraudsters are trying to carry out a variety of phishing schemes. In other words, they just want your money.
Get a cheap Presto card here, get e-tickets here, that sort of thing.
Some of the key differences that can help you from falling for it, Aitken says, and emails with links always look questionable, especially if you compare them with any other Metrolinx document. The company also saying they'll never email you asking for personal information like your credit card number or bank account details. I'm Stuart McGinn.
Coming up, we'll have a check of traffic and weather together on the One. 680 News Time, 2:20.
Wow, I thought I was lost. But then I remembered There's no need to look any further. Until December 15th during Sales Holiday Gift Event, you get a $25 gift card with every purchase of $100 on items at a regular price. Every great story begins at sale. Giving someone a CAA gift membership for the holidays is kind of like saying,
Happy battery boost for when your car doesn't start.
Wishing you peace, joy, and lots of restaurant savings.
Merry quick help with that flat tire.
say happy holidays with a CAA gift membership and give peace of mind with 24/7 roadside assistance across North America, plus great savings on shopping, dining, and more. Buy a gift membership by January 5th and get a $10 gift card. Details at CAAgift.com. CAA, making bad days good and good days better. Wow, I thought I was lost. But then I remembered, there's no need to look any further. Until December 15th during Sales Holiday Gift Event, you get a $25 gift card with every purchase of $100 on items at a regular price. Every great story begins at sale.
It's 80 News Time, 2:21. Time for 680 News, traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Gary Preskis. This report is brought to you by Walmart. Westbound on the QEW at Guelph Line, the two right lanes and the ramp lane are closed because of a collision, and they have put that truck back on its wheels. So some progress is being made for sure. But right now we're going to see, you're going to find that back up westbound QEW from Third Line all the way to Guelph Line. It is completely jammed through that stretch. And westbound Harvester, that's the worst of the alternates because there's a collision westbound Harvester midway between Walkers and Guelph Line at Cumberland. And that's causing a massive backup from approaching Walker's Line. It's really jammed through that entire stretch. So North Service Road, that had been running smoothly. You have the Lakeshore at your disposal as well. If you're traveling northbound on the Don Valley Parkway, just north of Eglinton, that problem just cleared away a few seconds ago. So northbound DVP, those delays probably aren't going to improve because now we're into the rush hour. And northbound on the Don Valley Parkway, it's jammed from just north of Bloor to north of Eglinton. It does start to get really busy on the roads around 2:30. Westbound on the 401, delays from the 404 to Avenue Road, alternately express and collectors. Slows again from Kiel in the express and from the 400 and the collectors to Dixon. And then a problem westbound 401 approaching Mississauga Road. The center lane is blocked with a collision. Traffic is jammed solid from the 410 express and collectors. Looks like the problem on the southbound 410 approaching Sandalwood has cleared. Delays there have improved. If you're heading eastbound on the 401, that's a slow drive from Winston Churchill to Huron, Ontario, again through Dixie and the collectors. Then it's busy from the 427 to the 400 express and collectors, but across the remainder of the city, it's in great shape. If you're heading into the Durham region eastbound 401, just a minor delay as you pass the 412. Who's calling the shots this flu season? You are. Help protect your family with a flu shot from your local Walmart pharmacy. Subject to availability. No appointment necessary. Walmart Pharmacy, partnered with Apotex. And now with the forecast, here's Denise Andriachi.
Most of the GTA sitting at 0 right now. We do have a little bit of flurry activity showing up on the radar, but it does seem to be moving in a little later. Hopefully it holds off or even dissipates, but if it moves through, it is looking like it's moving through around 7 o'clock. We also have some flurries overnight expected with some squall watches in effect through some of the traditional snowbelt regions. Your daytime high today, +1.
680 News Time, 2:23. Well, coming up, the union representing Ontario's public high school teachers says it will hold another one-day strike on December 11th. The Ontario Secondary School Teachers Federation says the job action will impact only schools in the Toronto and several other regions.
Julie? Hi, I'm Max.
Are you the pizza guy?
Me? No, I'm a professional dream coach. Say, how would your Friday night change if you won Friday's Lotomax jackpot of an estimated $21 million?
I plan a little getaway.
Little?
Okay, a huge getaway. I'll travel the world learning dances like the samba, the can-can, even breakdancing.
Yes, the world is your dance floor. Friday's Lotomax jackpot is an estimated $21 million. Across Tuesdays and Fridays, you can train to the max.
The 680 News Insider Club. It pays to belong.
This week, you could win a $100 Inspired Dining card to spend at 7 different restaurant brands, including Jack Astor's Bar and Grill, Scatabush Italian Kitchen and Bar, Canyon Creek, and more. Enjoy amazing food, a wide selection of craft beers, cocktails, and frequent new menu features. With over 35 locations in the GTA, stop in and enjoy an exceptional dining experience.
Visit 680news.com for your chance to win and to sign up for the Insider Club.
Still to come on 680 News, Christmas news and more drama around the HBC. That is coming up in the business report. 680 News Time.
No, seriously. Doesn't it feel good to just stop?
and listen? At Audible, we think everything is better when you listen. Join Audible now until December 6th, and new members get our special Cyber Week offer of 2 free audiobooks with your first 30 days free. After that, you'll choose one title every month from the world's largest selection of audiobooks. Join Audible now with our Cyber Week offer at audible.ca. Everything is better when you listen.
Hello, Alpine Credits. You're the guys that say approved, right? Yes, sir. So I want to turn the backyard into a putting green, and my girlfriend did not approve. Could you? We only approve homeowners for loans, for renovations, consolidating debt, that type of thing. Well, maybe if I got a loan to do it. Very nice.
At Alpine Credits, we try to approve all home equity loan applications, regardless of your credit, age, or income. Find out more at alpinecredits.ca. Alpine Credits. Homeowners get approved. Fiscal license 12616.
25, time for all Christmas news at 25 minutes past each hour, brought to you by the Scott Mission. Well, the city of Vaughan is getting into the Christmas spirit tonight with their annual tree lighting ceremony.
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all.
The courtyard outside Vaughan City Hall will be centered around the 40-foot tree that will be lit up starting at 7 tonight. Anyone attending is encouraged to bring friends and family, and the hour-long event is, of course, free of charge.
Christmas news at 25 minutes past every hour on 680 News.
Time 2:26. Now the 680 News Business Report live to Business Center. Chris McCusker. Irene, markets moving higher in the U.S. after a better than expected jobs report. So the latest data shows employers added an unexpectedly strong 266,000 jobs in November, suggesting the Fed is likely to stay on hold through at least the first quarter of 2020. The Dow is up 335, the S&P up by 30 points, and the NASDAQ higher by 89. Now, at the same time, U.S.-China trade is still up in the air. Larry Kudlow, U.S. National Economic Council Director, spoke to CNBC about that.
POTUS is saying the deal is moving along very well. Having good discussion with China. You probably know the deputy level met again, I don't know, yesterday or the day before yesterday. POTUS again said yesterday we're moving along in the right direction. Now, he'll say, of course, it's got to be a good deal. There's a few buttons that have to be buttoned, and they're working on that.
Now, as far as U.S. indices go, only the S&P right now on Wall Street looking at a gain this week. As far as the TSX goes, it is potentially looking at a loss of 0.2%. That's even with a gain of 144 points right now, 16,999. A minority shareholder is now filing a lawsuit to prevent HBC from going private. Ortelius Advisors says the suit alleges the group led by HBC Executive Chairman Richard Baker did not act in the interest of shareholders. Now, that has not been proven in court. HBC has a special meeting on December 17th to vote on the privatization proposal. Shares in HBC right now are down by 4 cents. $9.18. Gold is lower by $18, $14.64. Oil today close to a 3-month high, up by 64 cents, $59.07. And the Canadian dollar down by half a cent, 75.40 cents US. The Canadian economy lost 71,000 jobs in November. I'm Chris McCusker. This is 680 News.
When was the last time your family had their eye exams? Visit your neighborhood eye care experts at Pearl Vision and give your whole family the gift of clear vision. They're offering 40% off lenses with frame purchase, and they will help you find brands your family loves, like Burberry and Tory Burch. Plus, Pearl Vision direct bills most insurance plans and welcomes your current prescription. Arrange your family's eye exams at pearlvision.ca. Valid prescription required. Valid at participating Canadian locations. Taxes not included. Some restrictions may apply. See store for details. Offer ends December 31st, 2019.
Me and this F-150, we are in it for the long haul.
Oh yeah? What about costs like insurance, maintenance, fuel?
No problem. It just won an award for lowest cost to own in its class, 5th year in a row.
Wow, sounds like you really love your truck.
Yeah.
Get the Ford F-150, the truck with the Vincentric Award for lowest cost to own in its class. Now during the Ford year-end event, get up to $10,500 in rebates on select new 2019 F-150 models. Get the truck that's built for the long haul. Visit your local Ford store or Ford.ca.
And now the 680 News Business Travelers forecast. In Calgary today, overcast and -4. Los Angeles, mostly cloudy and 16 degrees. In Chicago, partly cloudy and 0. 680 News is CFTR AM Toronto. It is mostly cloudy and +1, and it's 2:30.
Number 1 for news in Toronto. This is 680 News.
Here are James Monroe and Laura Carney.
Good afternoon. This is Friday, December 6th.
Here's what's making news right now. Another round of one-day strikes is set for next Wednesday by public high school teachers, but this time it will only affect a few select boards, including right here in Toronto.
A 22-year-old man from Guelph faces terrorism charges. He's accused of being involved with ISIS.
Not everyone is complaining about today's snow.
I'm going on a sled.
Toboggan Hills are the hottest place to be on this chilly TA day.
Leafs in St. Louis tomorrow, kicking off the road swing, and they will do so without Andreas Janssen, who's been placed on LTIR. Sports at 45.
Good-looking U.S. jobs numbers has the Bulls going for a little Friday run on Wall Street. Dow's up more than 330. Business at 56. 680 News Time, 2:31.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Carrie Frunskis.
This report is brought to you by Seneca. Westbound on the QEW, it is a terrible drive. We have this problem at Guelph Line. The two right lanes and the ramp lane remain closed because of a collision. There was a truck that had flipped over as well, but they have since righted that truck. But this issue has been here since just before 1 o'clock this afternoon. So westbound QEW, jam solid from 3rd line to Guelph Line. That's a 10-kilometer backup. I would not want to be stuck in that. So use an alternate route. Westbound Harvester is the busiest. So head farther south to either New Street or Lakeshore. They are both very lightly traveled. Northbound on the Don Valley Parkway, we had some earlier problems north of Eglinton, long gone now, but it is a slow go northbound DVP from Bloor to north of Lawrence. Westbound on the 401, that's filling in from Brimley to Kennedy in the collectors, then delays across the city from the 404 to Avenue Road, alternately express and collectors. Starts to fill in again as you head around the Allen, alternately express and collectors to Dixon, and then jammed again westbound 401 from the 410 express and collectors to approaching Mississauga Road. NTO reporting that a collision has cleared. Eastbound on the 401, that's heavy from Winston Churchill to Huron, Ontario, then delays from the 427 to the 400 express and collectors. After that, it's not doing too badly and just seeing a minor delay into the Durham region as you approach the 412 to approaching Brock Street. Start at Seneca this January. Make a resolution that will change your future. Choose from leading-edge programs and courses. Visit senecacollege.ca. And now with the forecast, here's Denise Andriachi.
Some light scattered snowfall for the GTA and parts of southern Ontario through the rest of this morning, tapering off mid-afternoon. There's a slight chance of flurries overnight. It gets quite cold overnight tonight, lows near -10. Chance of flurries and -2 for Saturday. Your guaranteed high today, +1.
Cloudy skies in downtown Toronto, 0 degrees, feels like -3. 680 News Time, 2:33.
Breaking news from Queen's Park, where public secondary school teachers have announced they will be staging another one-day walkout in select locations, including in Toronto.
680's Mo McCarthy joins us live with the latest moment.
James, this is the latest job action by Ontario's public high school teachers. They went on a one-day strike earlier this week. They've already been doing a limited work to rule campaign, and now Union President Harvey Bischoff announcing that next Wednesday they will go on a round of rotating strikes. It will not affect every board, but it will affect Toronto. The TDSB is on that list. Other boards included will be in Barrie, Brantford, Belleville, Fort Francis, Lindsay, and North Bay.
It's a decision that I say is measured, that balances the need to get the word out about the destructive cuts this government is making while trying to minimize the disruption in students' and parents' lives.
Now, it's important to point out that other boards in the GTA, most notably, are not affected, like Peel, Durham, Halton, and York Region. They're not on that list. Education Minister Stephen Lecce still pushing for a deal to be made at the table.
And I'm simply signaling that I think some reasonableness from the teachers union will help us get that voluntary agreement, that deal that keeps kids in class, and that's simply what we seek.
But as of right now, contract talks are at a complete standstill. At Queen's Park, I'm Owen Qureshi.
680 News Time 2:34. A 22-year-old Guelph man has been arrested by the RCMP on terrorism-related charges. 680 Charlene Close reports. Carmel has been charged with participating in a terrorist group and leaving the country for that purpose. He and his new wife were detained in Turkey for 3 months after ISIS videos were allegedly found on his phone. Corporal Luis Savard with the RCMP tells me the Mounties have been watching him ever since he got back to Canada in October.
The RCMP, the Integrated National Security Enforcement Team, Guelph Police, York Regional, and additional partners have been working together to ensure the safety of Canadians and the public at large.
The CBC reports Mao has been living under strict bail conditions since November, including a curfew and ankle bracelet, and has limited access to the internet. I'm Charlene Close.
680 News Time 2:35. It is a PA day in Toronto, so what better way to spend it than enjoying this fresh snowfall on the Toboggan Hill? 680's Michelle Mackey joins us live from Christie Pitts with the latest. Michelle.
James, after a slow and snowy morning drive, Toronto students on PA Day say Christie Pitts is the place to be. Now, there are several different hills here for tobogganing. 10-year-old Georgia chose the medium-sized hill.
It's not really a steep one. It's kind of a small one because I didn't really want to go that fast.
Now, Georgia is being modest. I can confirm she did go fast. Meanwhile, Kyle and Denise are university students just out for a stroll.
Just chilling because it's almost exams for me. I'm a student, so it's a nice day just coming out for a walk.
Yeah, I love it. It's so beautiful out here. So yeah, look, watching all the kids tobogganing is so sweet.
So get outside, get that sled in, build those snowmen and forts, and enjoy the snow while you can. A big melt is in store on Sunday with a high of 6 degrees in the forecast. Live at Christie Pitts and still looking for that toboggan. I'm Michelle Mackey.
680 News Time 2:36. A terrifying reminder to clear off your car before you get on the road following an incident on the 403 on Monday. 680 Stuart McGinn reports.
It was all caught on dash cam. Your everyday drive along the 403 that takes an ugly turn.
All of a sudden, you see a flurry of white snow coming off the back of the vehicle in front of us.
The picture for the driver never improves. The mix of snow and ice filling their windshield before they watch the thick piece of glass shatter right in front of them. And OPP Sergeant Kerry Schmidt says this could have easily been prevented.
We often talk about snow coming off the roof of transport truck, but this was a small passenger vehicle, and there's no reason that a driver could not have taken that time to brush off the snow from their roof.
If keeping people around you safe isn't enough incentive, you can also be fined for not clearing off your vehicle. As for the driver involved in this case, police believe he walked away okay. He never actually received any calls about it. I'm Stuart McGinn.
680 News Time 2:37. Ontario Premier Ford says the province is on track to meet its 2030 emissions reduction targets. His defense of the government's climate plan comes days after Ontario's Auditor General said it was likely to fall short. In her annual report released this week, Bonnie Lysyk said the current climate plan is not based on accurate numbers or sound evidence. Lysyk says the plan won't allow the province to meet its own targets by 2030. But Ford says Ontario is a national environmental leader that's well on its way to meeting those goals.
Job losses and the throne speech were front and center today as federal party leaders squared off in the first regular sitting day in this new minority parliament.
Politicians wasted no time targeting each other as they resumed normal business in the House. Conservative leader Andrew Scheer kicked off question period, criticizing the Prime Minister over the 71,000 jobs the economy lost last month.
With all signs pointing to an economic downturn, why did this Prime Minister fail to mention any of that in his speech in November?
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau defends his economic strategy, saying they're bringing in investment and helping the struggling energy sector.
After many years of trying and failing by previous governments, we are moving forward on building the Trans Mountain Pipeline expansion. There are shovels in the ground.
And it wasn't just the Conservatives. The Bloc Québécois and NDP both criticizing the Prime Minister for not doing enough on health transfers and pharmacare. Cormac McSweeney, Parliament Hill.
Coming up at 2:41, traffic and weather together on the ones.
680 News Time 2:39.
There are lots of ways to treat your cold symptoms. You can carry around a spoon and syrup, or try alternative methods. How about those lozenges? Why not drop all that for a different way? Cold drops. Just one drop with a naturally sourced ingredient for temporary symptom relief of cough, sore throat, and nasal congestion.
Relief with just one drop. Cold drops.
For a retailer near you, visit colddrops.com. This product may not be right for you.
you. Always read and follow the label.
City Streets, Jarvis is down to one lane both ways between Queen and Front for construction. Southbound traffic is heavy from Dundas and in Brampton. A collision eastbound Steeles at Kennedy is causing a backup from here, Ontario.
City Streets was brought to you by CapitalDirect.ca. Low rates save money for homeowners.
Now, the 680 News gas price update. Info predicts the price of gas will stay the same at midnight, holding at $1.13.9 a liter at most GTA stations.
680 News Time 2:40.
I'm here with Bill Coy of Coy Brothers, and we're talking about what to do with all this snow.
I like to get out my Toro snowblower and get creative.
This should be good.
You can add snow effects to your Christmas tree with a Toro snowblower. Build your kids a snow fort.
And even clear snow.
Yeah, the Toro 38753 is an electric start single-stage snowblower that can clear an 8-car driveway, and it's just $779.
Talk to Vincent Van Snow here about Toro snowblowers at Coy Brothers.
KOOIBROS.com.
Discount travel sites say they have the best prices, but Hilton.com has the price match guarantee. Look me in the eye. If you find a better rate, they match it and take 25% off. Yeah, well, this is radio, so just stare at the radio. Hilton.com has the best prices. Pinky swear. Or, radio swear. Plus, you can choose your exact room and get free Wi-Fi. Cross my heart, stick a needle in my radio. Expect better. Expect Hilton.
Must be a Hilton Honors member. Applicable terms and conditions at Hilton.com. Pinky swear.
680 News Time 2:41.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Carrie Prunskis. This report is brought to you by Mr. Lube. Westbound on the QAW, no change in this problem at Guelph Line in terms of the lane restrictions. It is still the 2 right lanes and the ramp lane that are blocked because of this collision. And a backup westbound QAW, it's awful. Jam solid from Dorval to Guelph Line. It's only the 2 left lanes that are squeezing through. You're going to find westbound Harvester, the busiest of the alternate routes. I would head farther south to either New Street or the Lake Shore. Traveling on the southbound 404 Don Valley Parkway, we have a new problem approaching the Gardner. The right lane and the ramp lane blocked here with the crash. Emergency crews on that scene as well. Southbound on the 404, that's busy with volume from south of Finch onto the 401 ramps. And the southbound DVP is getting really jammed towards the bottom from south of Bloor to approaching the Gardner. Westbound on the Gardner, that's busy with volume from the DVP to west of Strawn. Slows again from Kipling to the 427 ramp. And delays are building northbound 427 from Dundas to Burnhamthorpe in the Express. And again from Rexdale to north of Finch. Heading westbound on the 401, delays across the city from Brimley to Kennedy and the Collectors. Then it slows down again around the 404, approaching the 404, alternately Express and Collectors to Avenue Road. And another delay building approaching Keel, alternately Express and Collectors to Dixon. Had an earlier problem westbound 401 approaching Mississauga Road, so that's why it's extra heavy from the 410 Express and Collectors. Eastbound 401, delays from Winston Churchill to Huron, Ontario. It's lighter across the city than usual. Only seeing a delay from the 427 to the 400 Express and Collectors. After that, it opens up. And if you're heading into the Durham region, a minor delay approaching Salem to Brock Street. Drive into any Mr. Lube location for same-day tire services. Open every day, no appointment needed. Mr. Lube now offers tire services for all makes and models. And now with the forecast, here's Denise Andriachi.
Some scattered snowfall through the morning and very early afternoon, then tapering off. A pretty quiet evening and overnight. Just a slight chance of some scattered flurries. Lows near -10. Chance of flurries for Saturday, -2. Cloudy periods and -3 for Saturday night. Your guaranteed high today, +1.
Cloudy skies in downtown Toronto, 0 at Pearson feels like -3. 680 News Time 2:43.
Now the Scotia iTrade Market Minute live from the Business Center. Good Friday afternoon, Richard Sutton.
Yeah, we made it. Happy Friday. Investors, they're in a good mood today after getting a look at what was a very strong U.S. jobs report for November. The Dow Jones Industrial Average up 342 points. That's a gain of 1.25%, back above the 28,000 mark for the blue chip benchmark. S&P up 31 points, 1%. NASDAQ also tacking on 1%. The TSX is higher. It's up 141 to 16,996. The Canadian jobs report not nearly as encouraging, 71,000 positions lost in the month of November. Though it's a telephone survey, the numbers tend to be very, very volatile with these particular reports. Gold's down $18, $1,464. Canadian dollar down half a cent, 75.41 cents US. That's your market minute. This is 680 News.
Direct invest with Scotia iTrade. Get up to $1,500 cash and $6.99 pricing, or up to 500 free equity trades. Details at scotiaitrade.com/winter20.
If you haven't taken the time to visit Lando Lighting recently and you're looking to freshen up your home, then wait no longer. New lighting can make all the difference in your home. Designers know it's the key ingredient to making a room stand apart from the rest. So isn't it time you visit the lighting specialists at Lando Lighting? With a massive selection of lighting and the best prices, there's no reason to go anywhere else. And right now, enjoy savings of up to 60%. Everything looks better with Lando Lighting. 210 Clarence Street, Brampton.
Look at my perfect parking job. Equidistant left and right, wheels straight as an arrow. I should post it. Hashtag perfect park.
Or hashtag enhanced park assist.
Or hashtag shh.
Get the SUV built with features that help make your life easier. The Ford Escape with available enhanced active park assist. And now during the Ford year-end event, get up to $6,000 in rebates on select new 2019 Escape models. Get the SUV built to get you out there. Visit your local Ford store or Ford.ca.
This is All News Radio, 680 News.
A few clouds and zero. Good afternoon from the 680 News Broadcast Center in downtown Toronto. I'm Laura Carney.
And I'm James Monroe. Here's what's making news right now.
Public high school teachers in Toronto and 8 other boards across the province are planning another one-day walkout. They will be holding a one-day strike next Wednesday, December 11th, as part of the ongoing job action against the Ford government. The full list of school boards taking part is posted at 680news.com. And it is a PA day in Toronto, so what better way to spend it than enjoying that fresh snowfall at the Toboggan Hill. More snow could be on the way for parts of the GTA this afternoon. Details in your extended forecast at 2:51.
Time now for 680 Sports.
And from Sportsnet 590 The Fan, here's Alex Cicero.
And Lori, the Maple Leafs need to find out who they are. Lack of identity, one of the issues still plaguing the hockey club. And Austin Matthews hopes they'll find it coming up on the road.
I think it's really crucial. I think we want to try to separate ourselves from the middle of the pack where we are right now and pick up some valuable points.
And the Leafs start up their 4-game trip in St. Louis tomorrow. But bad news today, Andreas Janssen out at least 10 games after hurting his leg on Wednesday. A pretty revealing story from The Athletic today. Cleveland Cavaliers players have already begun tuning out head coach John Beilein, who's only been there for a few months. Players feel like Beilein, who was a longtime coach in Michigan, still think that he is coaching up college players. Cavaliers 5-15 on the season. Raptors have lost 2 straight for the first time this season. They take on the 76ers in Philly on Sunday. Round 3 at the Hero World Challenge, and we have a new leader, Gary Woodland, now on top of -12. Patrick Reed is one back. Tigers sits -8. NFL Week 14 injury news. Looks like Julio Jones good to go for the Falcons this weekend. Vikings say that Adam Thielen is doubtful. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime on the home of Tim and Sid, now on TV and radio. Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
680 News Time, 2:47.
Need window inspiration? Then you need to speak to the experts. Hi, I'm Tom Rokicki of Inline Fiberglass Windows and Doors. Our window experts are experienced in working with architects, builders, and homeowners to ensure your vision becomes a reality. So whether you're replacing your old windows or building your dream home, dream the dream with Inline Fiberglass. If you can dream it, we can build it. Visit our Factory Direct showroom, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or inlinefiberglass.com.
First, your disability insurer denies your long-term disability claim, and then your employer threatens to fire you if you don't return to work. Sound familiar? My name is Aaron Waxman, and if your disability insurer denies your disability claim for any reason, or if your employer threatens to fire you because you're too sick to work, call me at 416-661-4878. And don't worry about upfront legal fees, because there are none. At my law firm, we only get paid when you get paid. And before you call, you should always remember that there are no bad questions. 416-661-4878, or on your cell phone at pound LTD.
This health report is brought to you by Cold Drops.
One drop for temporary relief of sore throat and nasal congestion.
Cold Drops.
Cold Drops are available at Metro pharmacies near you. This product may not be right for you. Always read and follow the label.
680 News Time, 2:48.
The winter flu season is off to its earliest start in more than 15 years in the U.S. Health officials with the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention say there is a chance flu season could peak much earlier than normal. The CDC estimates there have already been 16,000 hospitalizations and 900 flu-related deaths across the United States. Health officials in Southern California are on high alert for cases of a flesh-eating bacteria that is being linked to black tar heroin use. Matt Small, the Associated Press reports.
At least 7 people across San Diego County have died since October after being hospitalized for myonecrosis.
Health officials there have also been advised to look for instances of wound botulism, which, if left untreated, can also lead to death. Investigators are working to determine the source of the drug.
A 2016 survey by the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration found black tar heroin sold in 12 cities, including San Diego, L.A., Phoenix, and Denver, with nearly all of the drug coming from Mexico. 680 News Time 249. Minister of Economic Development Vic Fedeli says the government is working to bring more jobs to Canada as the economy posted the biggest monthly job loss since the financial crisis. The troubling new numbers were released this morning from Stats Canada, with both full-time and part-time employment lower. Fedeli says the government is working to create an environment for business which will create more job opportunities.
What we saw recently at Toyota is a really good example. Toyota just won the J.D. Power Award for the best automotive plant in the world. Not the best Toyota plant, the best automotive plant. So that sends a signal to businesses right across the world that we know how to manufacture things in Ontario.
Meantime, 266,000 jobs in the U.S. were added last month as the employment rate fell to 3.5%. Coming up in 60 seconds, traffic and your extended forecast.
680 News Time 250.
Hashtag Tim and Finn.
Hey, Tim. That's it. So the radio show we're doing, we're still talking about sports, of course. Sure. Got a question, though. Not a big deal or anything. Okay. Since we're on the radio, I assume clothing is optional?
You do know we're still on TV, right?
So that's a yes.
The immense is serious about sports and fully clothed. Weekdays at 5 p.m. Watch on Sportsnet and listen on Sportsnet 590 The Fan through the Sportsnet app.
Enjoy a great big winter welcome in New York City. Seize the season with Porter Airlines at a special offer called NYC Winter Outing. This offer includes 2-for-1 tickets to top attractions and Broadway shows, plus prefix deals at the best restaurants. Make it happen January 21 through February 9 by booking your flight to New York City with Porter Airlines. Visit flyporter.com/NY. Porter, flying refined.
680 News Time 251.
Time for traffic and weather together. On the ones, here's Carrie Prunskis. This report is brought to you by The Gardner. Westbound on the QEW at Guelph Line, the 2 right lanes and the ramp lane remain closed because of a collision. This issue has been here since just before 1 o'clock this afternoon. So as you can imagine, it has been 2 hours and that backup is just terrible. Westbound QEW now jammed from Dorval to Guelph Line. It gets really, really heavy once you hit Bronte. So definitely take an alternate route. At last check, New Street and Lakeshore, those were both moving much better. Also keep in mind, because of this problem, the northbound Guelph Line ramp to the westbound QEW is closed. I called MTO and asked them to check the cameras eastbound QEW or around Mississauga Road because it's really heavy approaching southbound to Mississauga Road, but it appears as though whatever was there has now cleared. Southbound on the 404 Don Valley Parkway, we now have 2 problems affecting that route. Southbound on the DVP on the ramp to Baby Bloor, looks like one of those lanes is now blocked, and I see a stalled truck there. Not sure if it's been involved in a crash, but southbound 404 DVP delays from south of Finch to the 401 ramps. Those again from around Don Mills onto the Baby Bloor ramp, and then we have this ongoing problem southbound DVP approaching the Gardner. The 2 right lanes are blocked, a right lane and a ramp lane. That's a collision and a heavy backup again from Bloor. Westbound on the Gardner, that's still going from the DVP to west of Strawn, bunches up again from Kipling to the 427 ramp, and a slow go northbound DVP from Bloor to north of Lawrence. Delays on the westbound 401 from Victoria Park to Avenue Road, alternately express and collectors. Then again, as you approach Kiel, alternately express and collectors to Dixon, and quite heavy into Mississauga from the 410 express and collectors to west of Mavis. Hire the Gardner to clear your snow. Enjoy unlimited snow removal all winter. Get a quote in less than 60 seconds at HireTheGardner.com. That's HireTheGardner.com. Now with the extended forecast, here's Denise Andriachi.
Light snow falling the rest of this morning through the early afternoon, then tapering off through the rest of the day. It's cold tonight, lows near -10. Slight chance of flurries early Saturday, near -2 for a high tomorrow. Cloudy periods at -3 for Saturday night. Then a big warm up on Sunday, sun and cloud near 6 degrees, +6 degrees. Chance of rain and 4 for Sunday night. Your guaranteed high today, +1.
Cloudy skies in downtown Toronto, 0 degrees at Pearson, feels like -3.
This extended forecast is brought to you by Walmart.
With Walmart's guaranteed unbeatable low prices, save $2.90 on 1 pound of Natrel butter. Now only $2.74. Walmart. Save money, live better.
Coming up at 3 o'clock, our Moen Qureshi will join us live with the latest on more job action being planned by public high school teachers. Teachers in 9 boards, including Toronto, are planning another one-day strike for next week.
680 News Time 254.
There's a reason you look people in the eyes when you shake their hand. A reason you don't like being late for meetings and hate missing deadlines. It's why you put your customers first and pick your partners wisely. Because you know, in business, reputation is everything. Trust your reputation to FedEx for all of your international shipping needs. Express, ground, and freight. Visit FedEx.ca/reason. FedEx, connecting people and possibilities.
The 680 News Extreme Weather Center.
With the latest forecast, delays on your commute, and whether schools are open or closed.
Anytime a storm hits the GTA, the 680 News Extreme Weather Center is activated.
Brought to you by Subaru, confidence in motion, and Air Transat, vacation is calling.
Exclusively on 680 News and 680news.com.
Coming up in 60 seconds, we'll check in with Richard Southern at the 680 Business Center.
680 News Time 255.
The holidays are here, and it's time to get yourself all the seasonal Subaru classics like or this old chestnut.
Great fuel efficiency, great fuel efficiency, all the way.
Or who could forget this classic?
Leading safety features.
Visit your Subaru dealer for a $500 holiday bonus at the My Subaru Gave to Me holiday event. Connect with an audience of over 200,000 looking to improve their home and garden this year. The GTA Home and Reno Show and the National Home Show are back, and exhibit opportunities are running out. Don't miss this opportunity to grow your business and connect with a qualified audience of homeowners. Act fast and reserve your spot today. Visit TorontoHomeShow.com/exhibit or call 416-644-5405 for more info.
Time now for the business report. Here's Richard Southern.
Laura, a very happy afternoon to you. Canada's economy not looking so happy today. We found out 71,000 jobs were lost in November. Was the worst jobs report for Canada since the financial crisis more than 10 years ago. Experts were thinking we'd see a gain of 10,000. As for the unemployment rate, that's up to 5.9% now. But wait. Canada has added more than 285,000 jobs in 2019. Benjamin Wrights for the Bank of Montreal says we need a reality check.
The reality is that the job gains have been so strong this year that even with this chunky decline, that it is a weak report pretty much any way you slice it outside of perhaps wages. Job growth is still pretty decent year to date. I mean, you're still looking at an average of 26,000 jobs created per month through the first 11 months of the year. That's not bad at all.
Out of the States, the employment numbers there are extremely strong, with the U.S. economy cranking out 266,000 jobs last month, the most since January. And the unemployment rate in the States now at a 50-year low, 3.5%. One would imagine this could be very supportive to U.S. President Trump's re-election efforts. It's very supportive for stocks right now. The Dow Jones Industrial Average on pace for its best day since October 4th. It's up 340 points, 1.25%, back above the 28,000-point handle. S&P gaining 30 points, 1%. And NASDAQ also ahead by 1%. TSX, very positive as well, up 140 points to 16,995. The financial stocks are higher after a 5% sell-off yesterday. CIBC bouncing back some, up just over $1 at $110.06. We're looking at strength for some of the Canada stocks. Canopy Growth higher at $24.64. It's indicating today that it's the next wave of Canada's products, the edibles and the drinks and so forth, won't be out until January. Again, that's the word from Canopy Growth today. Price for gold down $18, $1,464 US. And the Canadian dollar taking a hit on those jobs figures. The loonies down half a cent, 75.41 cents US. The day's top stories. The latest on what's going to be another one-day teachers walkout 60 seconds from now on 680 News.
Giving someone a CAA gift membership for the holidays is kind of like saying,
Happy battery boost for when your car doesn't start.
Wishing you peace, joy, and lots of restaurant savings.
Merry quick help with that flat tire.